Back here at home, all eyes are on the 2024 as Donald Trump's arraignment shakes up the race. The first primary contest next year for the GOP is in the Granite State. Earlier, I spoke with New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu, who says he is considering a run for the GOP nomination. Governor Sununu, you're one of the few leading voices in the GOP not to criticize the indictment as a political hit job, but you did call it a circus. What's your reaction to the developments today?
Well, look, I'm not a lawyer. I think everyone's trying to parse out what the indictments mean, what the timeline of this thing will be. But it is going to be a circus, and it's going to be a circus for the next year. And I was mentioning, someone this morning said, gee, Gov, would this be happening if the president wasn't running for president again? And no, I don't think it would be. So, of course, politics comes into play, and I think everyone understands that. And so is this really something that is going to, bring America together? No, it's going to drive another wedge. And so for me, I'm an engineer. I'm not a lawyer, right? My job is to fix things and to make things better and create systems. But this, on the politics side, this is just going to create another divide for us. It's unnecessary. We'll see where it all goes. But this drama is just starting. It's like we're watching the first episode of a new daytime soap opera, right? And it's going to go on for the next year, and no one knows how it's going to end. But unfortunately, it's going to dominate the headlines for all of us for quite some time.
You were on Bill Maher on Friday talking about a possible run for the White House. Let's take a listen really quick.
You're running for president.
Well, I'm going to wait to see what percentage of the potential candidates get indicted, and if it's over.
All right, I'll bite. When will you decide?
Well, first, hey, that was a pretty good line, right?
It was a good line.
Bill Maher. Look, I think most folks will decide whether they want to jump in this race and be a voice on that stage and that platform. Probably midsummer, late summer, something before the debates, and that'll probably start late August, early September in that time frame. So, look, New Hampshire always comes first for me. I'm a governor. I got a 24/7 job. I take that incredibly seriously. We're going through our legislative process now. We're in great shape. We're, the fastest growing state in New England and #1 for personal freedoms and all this great economic stuff we're doing. So if it's really something where I think that, my voice can actually help the process, maybe hopefully direct the conversation on whether it's on international issues or free market, good conservative values of local control and limiting the size of government, as not just being right. Being right is easy, right? But actually limiting the size of government and believing in the process that the founding fathers set up. If there's a way to do that, and we can be constructive in that effort, then I'll absolutely jump in. But, my job, again, I see it as a voice of the party that's trying to bring independents and young voters back to the table. We can't win without them. And no matter what you think about any of these candidates, we need somebody who can win in November of 24. I don't want a repeat of November of 22. That did not work out well for Republicans, right? Because we got behind extreme candidates based solely on ideology without really appreciating, can't govern if you don't win. You cannot govern if you don't win. Let's put winners on the ballot for November.
Finally, Governor, I want to ask you about Finland officially joining NATO today. This is a big deal, an unintended consequence, I am sure, from Putin's invasion of Ukraine. This comes as some leading Republicans have been warning that our aid to Ukraine is not a blank check, to quote one leading Republican. Some other Republicans in the House are even calling for cutting aid to Ukraine. You recently wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post saying that we have lost our moral compass on Ukraine of your fellow Republicans. Why are we seeing such division now within the party that once stood strong against the Soviet Union?
Well, look, I can't speak for those other individuals, but we have to stand strong with Ukraine. The idea that Finland is coming on board to NATO is terrific. It just means that our team is one that folks want to be on. And if you're going to tell me that we have the opportunity to kind of crush the tin can army of Vladimir Putin in Russia without putting a single troop on the ground, let's do it. What the Ukrainian people have done is absolutely unbelievable. They're fighting for their freedoms. That's exactly the ideals that this country was founded on, exactly what we should be supporting around the country, around the world. And understand that if we're going to be the world leader, and we are, we're the most humanitarian, generous, strongest economically and military country in the world, that comes with responsibilities of both supporting your allies and showing your enemies that you have resolve. That if they want to come messing with us or our allies, we're not just going to dip our toe in the water, right? We're going to use our leverage points to ensure that, frankly, there is peace on earth. With America's strength across the globe, comes peace on earth. There's no doubt about that. And so I can't speak for those others other than to say the fight in Ukraine is I think, connects with a lot of Americans in terms of what we're about and what our responsibility is across the planet.
Chris Sununu, Governor of New Hampshire, thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll come back.
You bet. Thanks so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.